let's catch up a little bit on some college football futures. Listen, a lot of news broke this week with NFL coaches and with college coaches. We know, of course, what happened with Nick Saban deciding to leave Alabama. And we actually have at BetMGM some college football futures for next year, of course. So we haven't turned the page fully on college football yet, Chip Patterson. Let's take a look at these odds here. Is there anything here that intrigues you in any way?
Oh, it's all intriguing. Are you kidding me? We end a season, we start going to the next one. So no one loves to hear you should take the favorite. But looking at this board, let's just run down. Georgia, yes, I think they're going to be stockpiled. They're loaded. They're number one with a bullet. Alabama, absolutely not. I do not want to invest in that, especially at that price, given the fact that it's not just a coaching change from the greatest coach to ever do it, but also a 30-day window where the transfer portal will be open and that talented roster will be poached. But then that next name, Ohio State, loading up in the portal, key NFL players that decided not to go to the draft, like Tyreek Williams, Jack Sawyer, Denzel Burke, they're all back. So thinking about this, you're like, Georgia, yes. Alabama, no. Ohio State, no. Ohio State, yes. Michigan, no. Texas, no. I just think we got massive exodus here. And then looking down the rest of the list, the only one that I might get to is Oregon. That is because the Ducks have not just one, but two quarterbacks with Power 5 experience, because they got Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma in the transfer portal, and they got Dante Moore from UCLA. Now, Dante Moore didn't look fantastic, but he was young. He was thrown into the fire. The rest of that UCLA offense wasn't great. So the Ducks have that, you're buying a futures ticket here in January. You need to know that you're not just one injury away from having it go poof. And I think because of Oregon's quarterback depth, when you're looking down, you get some Georgia, you get some Ohio State, but if you want more value, take a look at the Ducks.
Very, very interesting. Mike McClure, I'm going to bring you in here. We've got the odds here, courtesy of BetMGM. Any value down the board or perhaps at the top of the board?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to consider Georgia for sure. Argument there, they could have easily been the national champion this season still. So yes, Georgia definitely reloaded. As far as Bama, I would wait and see for sure. There's a lot of moving pieces there going on. Ole Miss is someone that intrigues me, mostly because of the expanded playoff format. Keep in mind, it's going to be easier overall, maybe not for everybody in that conference, but it's going to be easier to get into that playoff, which is really what matters once you get to that point. So they kind of have a schedule that's somewhat similar to what Michigan had this year, in that Michigan had two games on the schedule they had to worry about. It was Penn State and the Ohio State game. That's kind of the story here for Ole Miss this season. They do have to go to LSU and then they play Georgia. Other than that, they will be favored in every single game on the schedule. So I think that they win one of those two games between, say they beat Ole Miss or they beat LSU, lose to Georgia. There's a good shot that they're able to sneak in. And then one more, bit of a homer pick, but further down the board, Kansas State, 60-1, likely going to be looking at a cash out scenario. I'll bet them more once we have odds to make the playoff available. Their schedule, insanely soft. They have a stretch where they have 5 games in a row at home. In the second half of the season. That week 3 matchup with Arizona is one to potentially keep an eye on, but their quarterback, Avery Johnson, the reason Will Howard is now going to be at Ohio State. When you look at Avery Johnson's metrics, our colleagues at 24/7 Sports do what they call a freaks list. He was the first quarterback on this list. When you look at all of his athletic grading, he graded out significantly higher than Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson when they were the same age in college here. Just an absolute freak athlete at quarterback for Kansas State. Very soft schedule overall in that conference.
Wow. Great hair, too. Avery Johnson's blonde flow is incredible. I love that Kansas State pick right there, especially just given Big 12 is going to be nuts. I mean, did you hear him say Arizona? Arizona, Kansas State is a conference game in the Big 12. College football is going to be crazy to wrap your mind around.